Well, hello YouTube, it's your boy Shane, and I just wanted to share some Imbolc related thoughts with you all, because I actually have a ton of things to do today. Like, I should have gone to physical therapy, and I should have stopped by my store and picked up my laptop so that I could read and run and write some reports, and I should have done a lot of things, but I wanted to make a video instead because depression is fun that way. I've actually had a crazy couple of weeks. I went back to school, and that has been challenging. It's been great, but it's also finding the time for not just classes, but also homework and studying and travel, and fitting that in with an already crammed work schedule and, you know, a very active coven life, and still trying to go to physical therapy at least twice a week, if not more, for my knee injury, and just all of the things I have to do has kind of left me feeling a little bit overwhelmed, if I'm going to be completely 100% honest with you all. So yeah, and you know, it's an odd time of the year for that, because this is honestly, Imbolc is my favorite Sabbath out of the 8. I feel like I'm in the minority there, but I'm okay with that. I've always loved it, just thematically, I've always loved it. When I was kind of generic pagan before I was Gardnerian, it was my favorite, and in a lot of ways it's still my favorite, even though our ritual that we're going to do in our coven tonight bears virtually no resemblance to, you know, the rituals I know a lot of other pagans are doing at this time of year. A lot of generic pagans I know focus on Bridget or Breed, and kind of invoke her at this time of year as like the triple goddess of, you know, smithcraft and healing and poetry. And I think that's awesome. I'm a big fan of hers. But, you know, it's not exactly what we do. But I love Imbolc. I love the idea of just clearing away the cobwebs, clearing away the stagnation of winter, you know, just kind of letting that cold air blow through and cleanse you, body, mind, space, home. You know, I just love the thought of that. And I know a lot of witches think of Samhain as our new year. But for me, this feels like New Year. It's like, all right, I've gotten through the mess of the secular holidays, and we've gotten through January, which can be a bummer. And now things are starting to roll. Things are starting to pick up again. You know, you're starting to feel that current of energy underneath the earth. And, you know, maybe depending on where you live, crocuses are starting to stick their heads above ground, or you're getting those baby bumps that come right before the daffodils. And I feel like the year is kicking off, is finally starting, you know, that time after Yule, that time of January. There's so much turning inward, and there's a lot of meditation, a lot of rest, a lot of, you know, maybe dream work, maybe journaling, maybe divination. You know, it's kind of a very introspective time, and I like that too. That's necessary. That's absolutely needed. But I love when the needle drops again and things start ramping up. But Imbolc is my favorite, and I just thought I'd share some of the things that I love to do at this time of year for this Sabbath, kind of in the hopes that I would motivate myself, because like I said, I've just been struggling the past couple of weeks. There's been some family drama, there's been some coven stuff, there's been some, like I said, going back to school has kicked my ass, and I've only taken 2 classes so far, and it's already just, you know, I'm just trying to keep myself from getting overwhelmed, and just think about, you know, what's going on energetically at this time of the year, and how I can align myself with those natural cycles, because magic flows along the path of the least resistance, and we don't get anywhere by trying to constantly swim upstream and trying to constantly fight the things that are coming our way. Like, we have to move with those currents if we are going to, you know, be carried anywhere and reach our goals and be happy and fulfilled, right? So, trying to motivate myself. plus coffee. This is my new mug. I love it. I haven't bought a mug in ages. And this one just to me is like the mug of my new age dreams. Like, I'm gonna drink green tea out of this and like make a vision board. You know, I'm gonna drink some herbal tea and write out my intentions and manifest my dreams and cleanse my chakras. That's what this mug makes me feel like. I feel like I can do it. Just not today. No, today I'm gonna drink coffee, make this video, and hide out in my house alone until I have to go to my coven celebration tonight. But anyway, some of the things I love to do best at this time of year. One of the things is every year I make sure that all of my Yule and Christmas decorations are totally packed away for the year. They're all taken down, all the tape and the sticky and whatever else is taken down. And if I have any greenery left, if I used any kind of like natural or living greens in the decor, I burn them by Imbolc. So I saved a little, sprig of pine from like the wreath to kind of burn in my cauldron to signify that, that turn of the wheel is over. Winter's starting to be over. We burn that for a fresh start. I like to clean my whole house. And a lot of people are into like spring cleaning and they'll do it before a spring equinox. But for me, this is the time of year I do it leading up to Imbolc. I clean the whole house top to bottom. This year has been a little bit more of a challenge because I haven't been physically able to do a lot of that work. Luckily, I have an amazing roommate who took a lot of that on. He cleaned our kitchen. It's spectacular. We've been doing a lot of work just trying to get him settled and for his new start and get his room set up. And we reorganized all of our Wiccan and pagan books together on the shelves, and just trying to make this, into the home that we want it to be. To that end, every year I also, I not only clean the home, but I cleanse the home, whether that's, sometimes it's salt water or sage and sweetgrass. My favorite way actually to cleanse the house is I open up all the windows and I just let that really cold air come through, cross breeze, and just sweep through the entire home and just clear out all that stagnation, all that kind of stuck, stop motion kind of energy. Yeah. And, just do whatever I need to do to make the home feel, happy and good vibes and energetically clean and clear out all the gunk of winter. I know a lot of people experience like seasonal depression or seasonal affective disorder. Not me, I'm depressed all the time. So, but it's still not a bad idea, whether you experience that or not, to kind of, like I said, get rid of the stagnation of winter. Get rid of those like after holiday blahs where you have that event drop, the holidays have all these events and all these parties and all this, activity. And then afterwards there's kind of nothing. And then most people, they go nuts in the holidays. They eat all these rich foods, sugary, fattening foods and desserts and really, kind of over the top exquisite foods and a lot of alcohol and a lot of sugary drinks. And afterwards you're just kind of left with like that sluggish blah feeling. So it's a good time of year to just get rid of all that. Just sweep it out the front door. Yeah. This is also the time of year when I usually cleanse and reconsecrate all my ritual tools. And if there's anything that kind of needs to be repaired, repainted, dented, knocked around, hammered out, polished, that's when I do that as well. And that's always a really nice afternoon to myself to just kind of sit and zone out and not think about anything and just really focus on the task at hand, in that kind of like physical labor, chop wood and carry water type of way, as our Buddhist friends would say. I strip down the altar, I clean it, I oil the wood, like I said, just take care of all those kind of housekeeping things and then reassemble the altar. And it's not a Wiccan thing so much, but something that I've always done I also cleanse and consecrate my artist tools when I do my Imbolc ritual, my solo Imbolc ritual at home. You know, I dedicate my paintbrushes and my X-Acto knife and my architect scale and, you know, my dressmaking shears and just all the tools that I use throughout the year for my different types of art and crafts, and ritually consecrate them and cleanse them, and dedicate them to, you know, certain gods and goddesses. And that's another one of it's my favorite thing to do. It's my favorite ritual that I perform out of the whole entire year because it is just for me. It is only for me. I'm not facilitating that ritual for anyone else. I came up with it by myself. I didn't take it out of a book. It is entirely and wholly mine, and that feels important. So those are my favorite things to do at this time of year. I do have a statue of Bridget that I dust off and, you know, make some offerings to her. Like I said, it's, it feels weird to put the gods in a hierarchy, but I'm kind of Gardnerian first. So there's that. And then, if you haven't been able to guess, I have a very special relationship with Greek Artemis, and I have several statues of her, and I perform rituals to her. So we have a really special relationship. And then after that, like I said, it feels weird to kind of list deities in order, like their importance is ranked, which we all know. It's like ranking your friends. You can't say, well, you know, I like this friend best, and then that one, and then that one. You love your friends for different reasons. Sometimes you want to be with them at different times. So Bridget, or Breed, if you want to do the fancy, probably more accurate pronunciation. Boy, am I glad nobody watches this channel for the scholarship. Bridget's always going to have a special place in my heart. And so I do make sure and I honor her, you know, during her feast day. And the weird part is, I was into her even when I was Catholic. And I was into this holiday even when I was Catholic. I loved Candlemas. It was my favorite out of all the holidays. Better than Christmas, better than Easter. For those of you who don't know the Catholic ritual of Candlemas, the priests bring all the candles that they are going to use for the entire liturgical year and bless the candles at that Mass. And that also the same weekend is usually St. Blaise's Day, where they take 2 white candles wrapped in a red ribbon and they perform the blessing of the throats. So the parishioners can go up and have their throat blessed because of a miracle that St. Blaise performed on a young boy who was choking on a chicken bone, I think. So between St. Bridget, St. Blaise, Candlemas, Imbolc, Groundhog Day, it's just, I really love this Sabbath. I really do. And yeah, even though, oh, and February Eve. So in the Gardnerian tradition, we don't really call the Sabbaths by the names most pagans know them as. So, you know, we've never trotted out fancy names like Yule, Imbolc, Ostara, you know, Beltane. More often than not, you're just gonna, you know, in our tradition, you hear them referred to as winter solstice, February Eve, spring equinox, May Eve, summer solstice, you know, and so on and so forth. So, it's a weekend this year. It's a weekend that has very special, meaning for me. And I'm hoping that by celebrating it and sharing my Imbolc thoughts, I kind of kick my own ass out of the spunk that I'm in, and kind of have the fortitude to tackle this new semester and this new beginning. And I would love, love, love to hear what you are doing to celebrate Imbolc or Candlemas or February Eve or Super Bowl Sunday, which is also this weekend. So very busy time, but please share your thoughts in the comments. If there's something special that you're doing, if you've got rituals or customs or traditions that are really dear to your heart, I would love to hear about that stuff. Interact with me, please. All right, guys, until next time, be well.